Hey, Arcturus here. Today we're looking at the LEGO Creator Bookshop. It comes with a bookstore and a house attachment as sort of the townhome or town square, at least in the US, style of building, along with several minifigures and some interior sections. It is a rather hefty set coming in at 2,504 pieces and is intended for ages 16 and up. It is also designed to kind of tie together with some of their other LEGO modular building sets, such as the police station, diner, jazz club. So if you wanted to build a town square or, American style town center, possibly even European style town center, I'm not as familiar with how those are. But it's the sort of sets that would get you there based on the cars. This is an American town center. But without further ado, we'll get started. It comes with 2 instruction booklets, as well as 2 large green base plates, and some beige and gray plates in a separate unnumbered bag. Of the 2 instruction booklets, one is for the bookshop, the other is for the townhouse. I will admit the bags are a little strange. I don't know if maybe... So the bookshop and townhouse are complete, and I wanted to show you the interior as it's very cool. I really do like these modular buildings. We went from 8 bags. We went from 8 numbered bags, although it was more, which originally made me think something was wrong with the box, but there was actually just multiples of the numbered bags, and that's just how it came. So that just threw me. This is my first time doing one of these larger sets, but it went really well. 2 instruction booklets. Book 1 is for the bookshop. Book 2 is for the house. You get several minifigures, including a young boy who has an airplane, which is stuck in the tree here, a woman, and then 3 others, which I've put into the house and bookshop. These 2 attach by 2 pins on the bottom here, although these should be on the bookshop side, but since I'll be putting it back together later, I'm not too worried about it. Which is quite nice and modular. And we're going to start with the bookshop. Slide that a little out of the way. So you get this nice little book stand, which is covered by the front of the building. So I'll pull it out. So you get a little outdoor book rack, along with a printed book page, which attaches right into the front of the bookshop in front of one of the windows. You get this nice modular tree. I think it's supposed to be like a birch tree. Inside, you have several levels. So we'll start with the ground floor. This piece also kind of just attaches on the corner there. Nothing really on the base, but has a small little bookcase section as part of the bookshop. And then here we have another minifigure. I have him set as the bookstore seller. A book of Moby Brick, which has a little printed piece, this is the same piece as on the book stand out front, but you get a little bookcase, which you can just slide out, just several bricks put in there to look like a bookstore. We have another bookcase here, as well as the lower part of a spiral stair, and then a cash register there as well. Then if we come in to slide the rest of I'll slide the rest of the stair back in, and then that gives you a landing point where then it goes up further into the bookstore. Then here you have a little sitting area with a grandfather clock and lamp, as well as an outdoor cafe. You could take this as part of the living area or as part of the bookstore. It's up to you how you'd want to do that part. Some windows in the front as well. Now the ones in the back don't have the clear plastic in them, but they just have these green shutters that you can open and close. So that's the second level. Some of these pieces are a little more delicate, these little front facing pieces, but this just comes apart. So you have the back half of the roof. Nothing too interesting in that. And then here you have the bedroom, which has a little terrarium with a, I'll have to pull it out to show you, but it's a little terrarium with a little lizard that sits inside of it. And he just sets on one of the studs there like that. It just goes right in to the corner. And then it has a bed right in front of the window, and then the big window here in the front. And then on top of the mansard roof, you have a little walk area with some railings, but there's no stairs to get up there, so it's not really a walk. And one other thing I wanted to point out is in the front, you have some green tiling here under the archways, which is quite nice. And then you also have this lantern, which in the booklet it shows it as going up, but you could also easily do it hanging down. You just have this blank brick there instead, but my thought was to use one of the Harry Potter collectible wizard tiles here instead of this black tile, so that you get something with a little bit more color if you're going to do it, if you're going to use the lantern pointing down this way, because if you have it pointing up, it fits quite well, and is a nice spacer for these. But since they didn't have another one of these one stud black tiles for these gold square pieces to break it up in the center there, it does look a little odd for that spacing without the lantern up. So my thought was to use one of those collectible wizard tiles to fill that gap, because I think it looks a little better with the lantern hanging down, but that's just my preference. You might think otherwise, and if you do, let me know in the comments below. Then we come to the house that comes with this. Again, 3 separate levels, although this one does go together a little differently, as you can see from the way the top comes off. And in this case, the 3rd level is actually a basement with a ladder. So in some of the art on the cover, you see someone trying to get down the stuck airplane. And so here you have, a little basement area with a small side door, which I have gotten stuck. It's a little stiffer. A little small side door to where you could pull out the ladder, and you can walk in, get the basement, get a sack for the produce that's growing in the back there, some tool storage, that sort of thing. The only thing I don't like about it is this is the green base plate. I'd like it much more if it had even just gray tiles, like a concrete floor, so it's not on that green base plate. But that may just be my personal preference. If it had more gray tiles like these street tiles here, I'd like that better. But I do like that it has these nice little drain tiles, for like where water would go if this was on a street or something. I do like that. And that you have this lantern piece, which is mostly just one piece, except for the top 2 sections, but this whole, which is just 3 pieces, these 2 top pieces and this large printed piece, this large molded piece. So that's quite nice. So from the basement, and then here on this ground level, you also have some greenery here in the front, and then this very cool railing system where it's just like 2 grabbers and then this printed piece, and it just kind of sets there like this, and this rotated stair has a little bit of wiggle room, but that's fine. It does have one little pole sticking out there, but no additional railing, which I think is a little odd, but that is how it was in the instructions. So, and it's not very noticeable really if you look at it. So let's go on to the ground floor of the house, or the first level I should say. Has a door, some nice lanterns here in the front. I do like that. And then a little bit of clear brick here, which would be hard to see in the camera when it's flat. And then also some nice windows. The construction for this, the pillars here on the front was pretty cool. You can see kind of a little bit of how the arm piece goes in. It's like one of those Lego Star Wars droid arms, and that just holds these pillars, which are made up of like a whole bunch of little round pieces, which is pretty cool. So here in the house, you have a hat, and then a umbrella on the wall there, and then a potted plant, some stairs going up to the upper level, a fireplace here, which has a little fire piece in it. I'm not really going to be able to show you that very well, unfortunately, but same for this. It's a little tile. Maybe I'll get it off. There we go. Then you get this nice printed portrait tile, which is pretty cool. Just a little ship out at sea, and that just goes right here on the wall, but not like that. Right, there we go. So I have the minifigures for this portion, enjoying a nice cup of tea with a newspaper, tea or coffee, but tea based off the teapot. You have a nice little cupboard here. It does open, but so behind the cupboard you have some like storage for household kitchen goods, and then a back door which leads out into the garden. And then you have the older gentleman minifigure with some back printing, and then also his wife with some back printing. And I did try to put one of them on the couch, but enjoying the view, or rather in the window looking out, but I wasn't able to get them in there. Then we come to the third floor for this house, and we'll start with the balcony. So we have a nice little balcony with some greenery growing, little door, little angled window so that you can sit on the bed and look out. I'm sorry, instead of a little angled window here so that you can look out into the garden or open it up and get a nice breeze. Then we have two of these windows on the front here. Oops. We have two windows on the front, a little printed tile piece with the house number, and it's built in. This is really cool how this went in. It went in really well. It's very interesting how it got put together, but it was kind of difficult for me to get it in. It lined up between these two pieces, so you've got this rotating piece, and then you line that up with the top of this corner, and it just kind of, that went in really easy. First time I did it, took me forever to get it lined up properly, but this time it went really easily, which is great. You have another printed tile portrait here of a bridge. Let me know in the comments if you recognize what bridge that's from. You have a nice little lampstand and flower pot on the dresser here, and then a bed, very nice, goes right on. You have a chimney for the fireplace, and then you have all this tile work for the roof to do the shortest shingles, and then to cover up the rectangular pieces, you have these nice cool flat sections that just attach as rotatable. Fix that one a little bit. There we go. And then you have some points here on the road. Go back to the full view. Maybe. You have some nice points here on the road where you can attach a minifigure very easily. So you can have the kid there. You can have this man here. Or you could have this woman here in the doorway, which you can't see, but there are also some here in the doorway. So you can have someone there. And you can have him here or holding the book or put the book in the window. It's overall very nice set. Really fun build. It was really cool to see everything to come together. I like the color they chose for the house. The blue's very nice. I did see somebody else on YouTube have 2 of these and use some additional parts to make a very large bookshop and expand this into a very large two plate design, which looked really cool. I think I might have preferred if the bookshop was both of these, and then these houses were a larger set with multiple, like 2 or 3 houses. But I can understand why they wouldn't go for that. Might be a little more difficult. These houses really remind me of the street from My Fair Lady, where you have the shots of the houses, and they all have this kind of look. These sort of houses aren't really a thing where I live, so it's kind of cool to see them, and I've always liked them. But, it is one of the modular buildings, and I can understand why they went with these 2 together. No corner pieces, so you don't get the bend in here or anything. And I unfortunately don't have room at the moment to display these, but I really do like them. They're very cool. I look forward to seeing what else they come up with for the modular buildings in the future. If you have a favorite modular building from Lego, let me know in the comments down below.